Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome all of you to the commencement exercise for the Duquesne University School of Law. I'm Nancy Perkins, the Associate Dean of the Law School, and I first want to ask everybody out of courtesy to please turn off their cell phones. And in addition, I ask all of you to please remain standing and join in the singing of the national anthem. We'll be led by Ms. Julie Lawrence. Thank you for joining us to celebrate a very special day in the lives of our graduates, their families, as well as this institution. I am pleased to announce that this morning, 199 graduates will receive the degree of Juris Doctor, and one graduate will receive a Master of Laws for Foreign Lawyers. To begin this morning's ceremonies, I ask the Reverend Raymond French to offer the invocation.
Let us pray. Let us pray on this day, asking God's Spirit to come to us as we celebrate and honor you, the class of 2010. We give thanks to the families and friends who have believed in you and supported you. For today is a celebration of awareness, aware maybe for the first time that the justice you profess is so central to your vocation, and that just laws foster the common good. You are the servants of truth, of justice, and of compassion. And God asks only one thing of you, that you will always act justly, that you will love tenderly, and that you will walk humbly with your God. We pray with grateful hearts in God's most holy name. Amen.
Please be seated. At this time, I am very pleased to introduce you to Stephen Singhouse, Student Bar Association President and a member of the class of 2010, who is going to speak on behalf of the graduates.
Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, families, distinguished guests, and above all, good morning to my fellow friends and graduates. Many of us started this journey more than 3 or 4 years ago with a scant hope or a great dream to one day accomplish a goal that few in this world can ever say they have completed, let alone ever attempted. This goal, of course, is to graduate from law school with the knowledge and skills necessary to not only become attorneys, but good attorneys, the best attorneys. It is a goal to one day master the concept of law and its complex applications. Now, of course, many of us had ambitions to make enough money to have some fun in life, to buy big houses and new cars. But now, of course, we all know that will only happen after we pay off those rather large and pesky student loans. Few people understand what drives us to really want to study the law. At times, we even wonder why it is we ever decided to take that first step by taking the LSAT, and then start that lengthy application process to law schools. Once accepted, we came with only a dream in hand. We knew it was going to be a challenge. We knew it was going to be hard. Even fewer of us knew that at times it was going to be the absolute least fun thing that we had ever done in our lives. But we got through it. There was more than one time during my first year when composing my legal writing memorandum that I thought I would never finish it in time, nor law school for that matter. But all of us sitting here were able to accomplish that task. We each got here in our own way, and we should take this day to give credit to ourselves. You have worked hard, so recognize that fact. During our time in law school, many of us relied on our friends and family who are here once again to support us in our moment. They heard us complain, sometimes daily, and dealt with our angers and frustrations as we fought to understand the complex legal world. But they also shared in our joy of passing that first difficult year. And they shared in our growth as we began to use our newly acquired skills in legal clinics or internships. Like many of you, without friends and family as support, I could not have been able to get to where I am now. We must make sure to recognize the fact and not forget who helped us get where we are today. Since the first day we arrived, we learned that knowing the law is only part of the battle, and that the other part is using that knowledge to make a strong argument for your case. Whether or not you have what it appears to be the winning side, we learned you must make a conscious effort to fight for your position. You must be an advocate of the law and defend all types of clients. In essence, the practice of law is in a perpetual state of war. The legal battles will never end, but it will be constantly filled with new advances in the law and new attorneys who are willing to fight for clients' rights and what is right. This is your chance. We must remember that our very first battle was fought right here. Today's ceremonies acknowledge that each and every one of us has won that first battle. Our next battle is passing the bar, but after that we must make a conscious decision as to how we will fight our next battle, our own legal wars. Will you choose to sit back and be a follower, or choose to be an innovator and leader in the field of law? We must be true advocates of the law, and we must not let ourselves become complacent with the things the way they are. If there's one thing I've learned from law school, is that if you truly believe something is wrong and that it should be changed, you must be the one to take the chance, to take the risk, and to take the steps forward to fight for what you want. In law school, I took those chances and at times failed, but I also took those chances to be a voice for change and create my own success. Had I not been an advocate for myself, I would have never experienced those disappointing moments that only drove me to work and fight harder for a cause. It was key to finding that part of me that would lead to success. I would think that each and every one of us have had moments in our past that have required us to stand up and fight for something important to us or another. Us or another who does not have the chance to voice their own opinions and concerns. As an attorney, your ability to communicate will be your greatest tool to fight injustice. But will you? Remember, be the person who chooses not to sit back and relax and only be a follower of the law. Truly serve the law by serving your clients. Do not be content to sit back and take things for face value. Go deeper and further into the issues than you have ever gone before. Dig for the answers to legal questions nobody asks. Find the questions that no one can answer. And show everyone why it was you decided to go to law school. Fight for the losing case. Fight for the little guy who thinks he cannot afford legal representation and legal justice. But be a great advocate for your client, but also to yourself. Remember, we are in a war. We've been trained to fight the legal battles. Do not do a disservice to yourself and run from that war. You owe it to yourself to be a great attorney. Now, for most of you, your entire lifetime has been spent listening to what everyone else says. They tell you what to do or who to be. Now is the time to listen to yourself. Now is the time to make your own decisions. Of course, you should keep an ear open, as it is always good to hear the other person's perspective. But now it is time to listen to the one perspective that matters most in the world to each and every one of you. That, of course, is your own voice, your own perspective on life. Be wise and listen to what you are saying. Be who you want to be, not what everyone wants you to be. Be a great attorney, but do this by staying true to your morals. To be true to your beliefs, and more importantly, be true to yourself.
It is now my pleasure to introduce the Dean of the Law School, Ken Gormley.
Good morning. My name is Ken Gormley, and I have the privilege of serving as the Dean of Duquesne Law School. And before we go any further, Steve Singhouse and the class of 2010 have asked if we could depart from the program for one moment and present a special award to one member of the faculty who has contributed so much to this class of graduates and to decades worth of Duquesne Law School graduates. So, Steve.
This award is for meritorious service, honoring your selfless dedication to the Duquesne Law students. We would like to give this award to Professor Alfred Pelath.
Thank you, and I should add that Professor Pelath was just recognized earlier this year as a distinguished university professor, one of only 3 such designations in the entire university, so we're very proud to have Al as a member of our faculty. And as we continue to get warmed up for the festivities today, I also want to say a special thanks to Steve Singhouse, who worked so diligently as SBA president this year, serving his class to make truly special contributions. I know this will put them on the spot, but as you know, law professors are notorious for doing this and calling on people while they aren't prepared. So I'd ask Steve's parents, Darstan and Virginia Singhouse, I saw you up there, to stand along with his sister Catherine and Grandma Steiner, who came in. Come on, stand. They're back up there. If we could have a round of applause for Steve's parents and Grandma and sister. And also, Steve got engaged this year to a lovely young lady from his hometown in Olney, Maryland, who put up with his crazy schedule and attended many of the law school events. So, Jill, if you could stand up. And Jill was introduced by Steve's sister. Talk about a full-service sister-in-law. So, congratulations to all of you. It really is a pleasure to be with all of you for what I believe will be a special commencement ceremony, and this really is a ceremony. It's a ritual marking a very important moment in the lives of people we care very much about, much like a marriage ceremony or an inauguration for a new public official. I'm happy to say that my wife Laura is even here. We have 4 children, ages 21, 19, 16, and 10, so there's about a 50% chance our house will still be standing when we get home. I think the 10-year-old will keep things in order. But Laura has never been able to attend a graduation before because kid activities are always going in 50 directions, but she lined things up because she really wanted to be here for this special class. It really is a remarkable accomplishment for each graduate sitting here with their hoods and regalia bearing the Duquesne University Law School colors. Law is the oldest and most revered profession known to mankind, And so for all of you, this is a true milestone. Last night at dinner up on Mount Washington, I had the chance to spend some time with our graduation speaker you'll hear from in a minute, Frank Coonley, and his lovely wife, Debbie. And we were talking about our respective graduation experiences and agreed the most important things turn out to be the little things. My commencement was a few years ago, back in 1980, and I'll tell you there's one memory that's still burned in my mind. I went to law school up in Boston. My family didn't travel very much, and so I didn't have a lot of visitors up there for 3 years. And I remember standing at this big outdoor event and feeling kind of left out. Everyone was taking pictures with their families and everything. And just before it was time to go up on stage and get diplomas, I could see in the far back my mom and dad and my little sister. They'd gotten in the old Dodge Dart and drove all the way up, stopped in Brewster, New York, but got there in time to see me walk across the stage. And I can still close my eyes and see them back there. It's one of the proudest and happiest moments of my life. In fact, my folks have passed away, and they're buried in this little Braddock Catholic Cemetery, and I like to go run up there. And when I went for my run yesterday, at the end, I just kind of closed my eyes and remembered that day like it was a scene from my favorite movie. So I'd give anything if my folks could be here today, but I'm grateful that I still have that picture in my mind because it's the next best thing. So before we go any further in this celebration today, I'd like to ask all parents, family members, significant others of the graduates to please stand who are here in the audience. Family members, please stand. Okay, now graduates, stand up, look around, and find your people there and wave, blow kisses, make noise, shout. This is your day. This is a happy occasion, and I want you to enjoy and savor every minute of this day. Okay, there will be more time for this, and I do see the cardboard cutouts of the Three Stooges back there in the corner also. One more show of appreciation. The folks here can sit down, but it's the law school faculty, the administration represented by President Dougherty, Father Ray French, and other educators, some of whom are abroad teaching courses this summer and couldn't be here, but they're the ones who have helped to make this milestone possible. So I would ask you graduates to join me in thanking them for their dedicated service and for the wisdom they have imparted upon you for these years. Faculty and administration, please stand for a minute. If you could please stand. Thank you very much. All of us are extremely proud of the graduating class of 2010. I've taught many of these students, worked closely with them on a host of projects, so I can vouch to you that there are some men and women of real character here, and also some real characters. In fact, when I went over the graduation roster, I was telling some of them in the robing room, my eyebrow kind of jumped up when I saw some of them on the list, but I did check your transcripts with Val, the registrar. You've all made it. You're in the clear, so this really is going to happen today. Some of you may remember during orientation, during the first day of law school, I gave a little pep talk about the importance of remaining your own interesting selves, about not letting others define your success once you took this path, and the importance of using your law degrees to do some good on your own terms. And this is now the moment of truth. I've learned through past years, both in legal practice and as a member of this prestigious faculty, that most of the true success stories in law are made by people who make names for themselves through sheer determination and the singular desire to do something productive with their degrees. I know this class of graduates. Steve Singhouse used a few words that were particularly fitting to describe them. This class is filled with leaders, not followers. They're advocates for just causes, not just users seeking to enrich themselves at the expense of others. They have big hearts and want to add to the shining luster of the legal profession that occupies the centerpiece of our American system of judgment. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can personally vouch for the fact that the class of 2010 is an extraordinary class that will continue and elevate to new heights the long tradition of excellence that has marked Duquesne University School of Law now for 99 years. And our commencement speaker today is someone who is living proof that using one's law degree with diligence and creativity, always striving for excellence without being boxed into others' rigid notions of how one should make one's contributions, can open doors to unmatched opportunities. Frank Coonley is probably best known to the outside world as the high-profile president of the Pittsburgh Pirates Baseball Club. So he's always in the news whenever something significant happens to the team. He's the public face of the Pirates when they're winning, when they're losing, and when they wish they were winning and not losing. But Frank Coonley is also what we refer to in this business as a lawyer's lawyer. And many people don't know this aspect of his resume. He's at the very top of the pyramid of elite sports lawyers and labor lawyers in the United States. He was first in his class at Catholic University School of Law, a member of its prestigious law review, worked for the preeminent firm of Morgan, Lewis & Bockius in its Washington, D.C. office, where he represented Major League Baseball as its labor counsel, handling collective bargaining, major contract disputes, and high-profile litigation. He then went on to serve as Senior Vice President and General Counsel of Labor for the Commissioner of Baseball, handling matters for 30 baseball clubs and resolving the toughest disputes that faced Major League Baseball. He's also a very devoted husband and father of 4 children, almost the same age as our own kids, and he somehow manages to keep all of these balls juggling in the air. I first met Frank in 2007 when he had just become, I think it was only a week or two after he had become president of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I had just become president of the Allegheny County Bar Association. And despite hundreds of demands on his time, he accepted our invitation to speak to a gathering of lawyers and judges at the William Penn Hotel, and he won over the entire audience right away. And this is a big feat because he is from Philadelphia originally, but he won everyone over by displaying an appreciation for, a mastery of the law that enabled him to navigate to the highest echelons of Major League sports with professionalism, humility, and almost an athletic grace. Since then, Frank has remained visible and active within our legal community in Pittsburgh, and as many students know, he even carved out time to speak this fall at a sports law gathering at Duquesne Law School, impressing the students with his genuine interest in their futures, causing the Student Bar Association to put him at the top of their list for graduation speakers, right up there with Tiger Woods and Al Gore. Both of whom were later scratched from the list. We won't go into that. But we spent a good time, we've talked over the past 3 years since Frank's arrival in Pittsburgh, and he is a remarkable person. And I should tell you that he agreed to join us today, even knowing that there is a 1:35 game with the Giants. And I guaranteed him, incidentally, that we would provide good luck and start the Pirates on a 10-game winning streak. We already racked up the first victory last night, 6-3 over the Giants, because he had dinner with our Student Bar Association representatives. But in all undertakings, on and off the field, this is a true gentleman, a professional, and a lawyer of unmatched talent. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce today's distinguished commencement speaker, Mr. Frank Coonley.
Thank you very much, Dean Gormley. Dean Gormley, Chancellor Murray, President Doherty, distinguished faculty members, distinguished alumni, students, parents, friends, family of all nature, thank you very much for having me today. It is a tremendous honor and privilege for me to be asked to speak to you today and to be before you on what is an extraordinarily special day for all these graduates and their families. I feel much more comfortable in my surroundings now than I may have done 2.5 years ago. As Dean Gormley described my entrance to Pittsburgh, I'm particularly comfortable on this stage, as I learned here today, that Chancellor Murray is also from Philadelphia and also a Catholic school, Catholic University Law School graduate, and has made a fine and long career here in Pittsburgh. So all of a sudden my chances are getting better. To the class of 2007, congratulations. You have achieved a very special accomplishment in your graduation. You're not through becoming a lawyer, but you have achieved a tremendous accomplishment. You've done it through extraordinarily hard work, sacrifices, as Steve talked about. Your parents, your family, and all of your friends are extremely proud of you. You should be extremely proud of yourself. Give yourself another round of applause, please. As one wise and learned teacher of men and women once said, and you are proof of this, there is no substitute for hard work. Worthwhile results come from hard work and careful planning. That line comes from the foundation of this pyramid, from which I will refer today. This is the Pyramid for Success by John Wooden, written by John Wooden, a pyramid that he lived by as a man, as a coach, and as a teacher for years. Coach Wooden, as I hope you know, passed away on Friday night. As I was reading through, and this by the way is my own personalized copy of the pyramid signed by the coach. I never had the pleasure or the honor to meet him, but one of his good friends and former managers for him at the UCLA basketball team asked the coach just a year or two ago to sign this for me, and he was kind enough to do so in his 98th year. Never had the pleasure to meet him, but he is one of the finest teacher of young men and women, and this Pyramid for Success has words of wisdom that I live by every day, and many of those who have succeeded live by every day. So excuse me if I steal from Coach Wooden today as I address you, but as I read through the article after article by both sports writers, commentators, political commentators about Coach Wooden, who after 99 years and still sharp as the tack finally passed on Friday, after I read article after article, I kept coming back to the coach's principles, the coach's maxims, and they were the same points that I had prepared to share with you today. So I've worked some of them in because Coach Wooden is far more eloquent than I am. If you haven't already, I suggest strongly that you pick up a copy of the Pyramid for Success. You can download it online, like you can download everything these days, but it is worthwhile. Take it with you as you're studying for the bar, as you're starting your career as a lawyer, or in whatever field that you choose to take as your field. The first words of Coach Wooden that I want to share with you today are that, Coach Wooden, as I read these articles and read some of the obituaries on him, and then went back into some of the websites, he has his own personal website, you could see that the principles that are laid out here, the famous maxims for which he is so famous for, all came from his father. Family was very important to Coach Wooden, and I know family is very important to all of you, and because of your family, that's why you're here for this special day. Like Dean Gormley, I remember my own graduation from law school almost like it was yesterday, even though, unfortunately, it was nearly 25 years ago. And like Dean Gormley, my most vivid memory was of my mother and my grandmother and my sisters. At Catholic University, at least at that time, they didn't announce who had won the faculty award for graduating with the highest grade point average. I knew that I was in the running, but I didn't know before the graduation ceremony that I had been bestowed that great honor. So I didn't fill my family members in that I might be getting called up prior to the end of the ceremony for that award. And all I remember after being called up and given the award by the president of the university is turning around and seeing my mother and my grandmother and the tears in their eyes, knowing how much work they had put in to make that very special day and to make me whatever success that I had turned out to be by that period of time. Through my teenage years, I would say, I had given both of them many reasons to believe that they would not be seeing me accepting a diploma, let alone a faculty award for graduating with the highest grade point on it. Their perseverance and steady guidance was why I was able to achieve whatever success I had. So please take today, all day long, this opportunity to thank your parents, your friends, your family, and the mentors who have made this possible for you. Industry, or the serious application of hard work to the task at hand, has played a critical role in whatever success I have had. As I indicated, that is one of the bedrocks at the very foundation of the coach's pyramid of success, hard work. As a number of my high school teachers, I've already talked about my mother and my grandmother and what they would attest to if they were living today, a number of my high school teachers would gladly attest to the fact that I was not likely to be voted the most likely to succeed member of my high school class. And in fact, when last year I was inducted into, as the first inductee into the Academic Hall of Fame for my high school, several of my former high school teachers had to show up to make sure it was the same Frank Coonley who they taught in high school, because they couldn't believe it. And in fact, when the principal of my high school called me to ask me whether I would accept this award of the first inductee into the Academic Hall of Fame, I literally said to her, you must be mistaken. You obviously have finally are prepared to right the wrong and are putting me into the Athletic Hall of Fame, honoring and recognizing my great ice hockey career at the high school, but you can't be serious about the Academic Hall of Fame. And she said some words to me that are prophetic. It's not how you begin the journey, Frank, but how you end it. Now, I thought about that. I thought it was pretty deep. And I decided that, yes, I should take the trip back to Philadelphia and accept this great honor. I did, however, say I hope I'm not at the end of my journey. I hope there's still some more left. But I think the principal's point was, no matter where you are in this stage of your life or your career, don't let anybody tell you you can't reach another level. In high school, I was not industrious with respect to my schoolwork, regrettably. I was industrious with respect to my athletics and some other matters, but not schoolwork. But the light finally went on. The maturation process thankfully began, and I began to apply industry to the task at hand when I went to college at Penn State. And because I was not the most likely to succeed in high school, the success that I had in Penn State and at Catholic University was largely a function of the fact that I like to work hard. And I finally decided that Coach Wooden's words about working hard are prophetic, and you can succeed by hard work alone, and you cannot succeed without it. I've been blessed as a result throughout my career, both through school and then at Morgan Lewis and Bacchius, then at the Commissioner's office, to have that hard work appreciated, recognized, and ultimately rewarded. As you begin your careers, and if you're still in the process of deciding what career is right for you, as Dean Gormley said, I never thought graduating from Catholic University that I would be standing here before you today as the president of the Pittsburgh Pirates, no longer practicing law. I thought I was going to have a nice long career as a lawyer. Had no idea what type of law I was going to practice, but I thought I would have a long career as a lawyer. So whether it's in the practice of law or writing best-selling books like some of us up on the stage do, or running a business, you will benefit from your legal degree, as I did. You'll benefit from the hard work that you've put in at Duquesne University, like I did at Catholic. But my advice to you, and again, I will come back to Coach Wooden as well on this, my advice to you as you're making those decisions, make sure you enjoy what you're doing. Another foundation in the very foundation block of this pyramid, in Coach Wooden's words, are you must truly enjoy what you are doing. I've enjoyed what I've done in my career every single day of my career, even those days in which we may have lost 20-0 and I get 25 emails and then many handwritten letters shortly after. When I went to law school, like many of you I suspect, I had no idea what type of law I wanted to practice. So finding the right career that I would truly enjoy, those are great words, was not something that came easily. After my first year of law school, I really liked constitutional law. Loved the course. The professor was terrific. And I was fortunate to get an internship with a law firm that summer. And anytime one of the lawyers at the firm would ask me what type of law I would hope to practice when I graduated, I told them I wanted to be a constitutional lawyer. Loved constitutional law, wanted to be a constitutional lawyer. Happily, most of the lawyers would just say, "That's nice, have a nice day," and move on. Ultimately, though, a few were more bold. They said to me, "That's nice, Frank, that you want to be a constitutional lawyer, but you do know there are essentially 3 people that argue constitutional law cases before the Supreme Court. So that's great if you want to do that. Good luck to you, but you may want to have a backup plan." So I decided that I needed a backup plan as I went to second year of law school. And I was very fortunate. Not everybody is. In the first semester of my second year, I had a labor law professor who was absolutely dynamite, who brought labor law to life on a daily basis and made me passionate about the principles and the practice of labor law. I realized that that was a career for me, and then I specialized to the extent you could back then in taking as many labor and employment law courses as I could, because I had that same passion that law school professor brought out in his class every day. I was then fortunate enough to get a summer associate position with Morgan, Lewis & Bacchus, a very prestigious labor law firm in Washington, D.C., where I wanted to stay, and I was fortunate enough to be asked to join their ranks of many very well-known and very prestigious labor law professors. At Morgan Lewis, I had an opportunity to work with many fine lawyers, and I tried very hard to learn from them on a daily basis, and I encourage all of you to do the same. If you join a law firm or wherever you go, find mentors that will help teach you. The teaching process, the learning process is never complete, and it certainly is not as a young lawyer. I was then fortunate enough at Morgan Lewis as a first-year attorney to be asked to join a team that would represent Major League Baseball in collective bargaining matters and labor law matters. Major League Baseball wasn't even a client when I joined the firm and the practice. They certainly didn't come because I was there as a first-year associate, but I was asked to join the team as the most junior associate. And in doing so, I had an opportunity to work on some of the most monumental labor disputes, labor negotiations, strikes, lockouts, and then legal disputes emanating from those labor disputes that any young lawyer could ever imagine working on. And it was a thrill every day. When I then got the opportunity, was asked by the Commissioner of Baseball to come in as General Counsel of Major League Baseball, we worked very hard to change the relationships in Major League Baseball between the clubs and its players. I was part of an 8-for-8 streak that you don't want to be part of as outside counsel. For 8 consecutive collective bargaining agreements, the players struck or the owners locked them out. Could never get an agreement without a strike or a lockout disrupting baseball, which fans love, and of course in 1994, the strike of the players ended the World Series. When I moved inside with the Commissioner's office, I had an opportunity to try to change that relationship, and I really used principles along with others in the office of Coach Wooden's pyramid, another principle to try to change that relationship, and that is cooperation. Coach Wooden described as follows: listen if you want to be heard, be interested in finding the best way, not having your way. That's a bedrock not only for successful labor relations, but for success at any task that you're undertaking, and that's why it's a bedrock for success in the pyramid of success as well. I would also encourage you, and this is one that is close to my heart and also more timely, to accept changes and don't be afraid to fail. At the Commissioner's office, I work closely with owners and club executives on matters that were critical to their business. As a result, I was given the opportunity to apply another of the coach's teachings. The coach built his team of young men who won a record 10 straight, or not 10 straight, but 10 national championships in NCAA basketball because he was able to convince them to take on the greatest challenges and to overcome what might be considered by some insurmountable odds. After turning down a few offers to join other clubs in various capacities, I accepted the challenge of coming to Pittsburgh to work with a team here to return the Pirates to the glory that only your parents and grandparents can remember. Why did I accept this challenge? Because the challenge, while great, the reward that we can accomplish together in Pittsburgh is even greater. As we build this young team that Pittsburgh and Pittsburghers can be proud of again, and we hit the inevitable bumps in the road, which, by the way, I hear about on a daily basis, I can hear from our passionate fans who are very vocal. I try to remember what Coach Wooden said about the process of taking on difficult changes. If you're not making mistakes, then you're not doing anything. I'm positive that a doer makes mistakes. And failure is not fatal, but failure to change might be. I take those words to heart every day as we go through bumps in the road at the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'll tell you a funny story related to this that really brings it to heart for you. My first day when I was introduced to the press here in Pittsburgh, there was a large group of press gathering, and I was preparing for all the tough questions that the press could have about the job at hand and how were we going to turn the Pirates around back to the team that your parents and grandparents remember. Preparing myself, as any good former lawyer would do, for the toughest of questions that the court, or in this case, the court of public opinion, could ask. First question out of the box from the most grizzled sports writer on the beat. Frank, you had a great job at the commissioner's office. Very stable. Why would you want to come here? And I said, I knew I had a challenge at hand, but I accepted and embraced the challenge, and I ask each of you, as you move out into your careers, to accept challenges. Challenge yourself. Look to go to the next level. Don't be afraid of failure. Finally, a commencement address wouldn't be complete if I didn't exhort you to be good and to do good to others, particularly others who are less fortunate than you. So I conclude my remarks by doing so. I don't do it because it's become accepted, politically correct, or even standard. I do it because it's important, and it's more important than ever, that we all understand the value of being a high-character person and doing good in our community. As young lawyers, or in whatever careers that you may pursue, your character will be tested. Trust me, mine has been tested plenty. You will be tempted to take the shortcut. You will be tempted to work around the lines. You will be tempted not to follow your heart and follow your character. But to find true success, character not only matters, it is paramount. Loyalty to yourself and to those depending on you, what Coach Wooden described as keeping your self-respect, is another foundational block for you as you begin your career. As we read day after day in the sports pages about sports heroes, politicians, businessmen, businesswomen who have lost their way, who are not the type of character that we would want to see running our business or being on the field of play for us, we should all remember that character is not only something that's nice to have, character is paramount to your success. You cannot have success without doing so with character. As Coach Wooden said, be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are. And while your reputation is merely what others think you are. He also said, talent is God-given, be humble. Fame is man-given, be grateful. Conceit is self-given, be careful. And of course, essential to who we are, and indeed probably the best measure of who we are as a person is how we treat others who are less fortunate than we are. As Coach Wooden put it, you can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. Or as a sports hero closer to our home, the great Roberto Clemente said, anytime you have an opportunity to make a difference in this world and you don't, then you're wasting your time on earth. Roberto Clemente was a direct man who spoke directly. He also acted directly and acted upon his words and ultimately perished as he was attempting to help earthquake victims suffering in Nicaragua. You are very fortunate. You will become successful in your professions. You will become even more successful as people if you help others less fortunate than you. Help others who have not been so lucky. It will make you feel good, and it will bring you true success. Thank you for allowing me to share this very special day for you. I wish you all the happiness and fulfillment as you leave this fine institution of learning. And as you leave, I urge you to follow one last maxim from Coach Wooden. Make each day your masterpiece. Thank you, and God bless you.
Commencement ceremonies are important occasions to come together, to reflect on our mission and goals, to remember happy and good times, and to celebrate accomplishments and excellence. For this reason, we take great pride in calling forward the law school's graduating students who have distinguished themselves through their academic achievements. It is to these women and to these men that we dedicate today's program. To begin the presentation of diplomas, I ask the Assistant Dean of Students, Ella Quiznek, to come forward and announce the graduating students of the law school.
Will the graduating class of 2010 of the Duquesne University School of Law please come forward? May I ask that you hold your applause until all names have been announced. Meredith Deirdre Ann Eggers. Brittany Ray Agona. Mindy Marie Albert, summa cum laude. Alexander N. Alioto. Christine Marie Allen. Jacob Altmeyer. John William Ament. James Stephen Anderson, cum laude. Scott John Andrajak. Sarah Elizabeth Andreo, summa cum laude. Mary Elizabeth Andrico. Colleen Mullen Arakri, magna cum laude. Gregory V. Augenbaugh, magna cum laude. Patrick C. Oth. Derek William Bachman, cum laude. Joseph V. Balestrino, cum laude. Rama Rita Barakat. Jessica Lee Barson. Zachary John Bazan, cum laude. Ellen Kyle Beagle. Janika Lynn Burke. Lauren Patricia Beret, cum laude. Jennifer M. Bigley. Heather A. Brooks, cum laude. Matthew Galen Browse. Demetra Kristan Brown. Adam David Buchanan, cum laude. Ryan Scott Bundy, cum laude. Danielle Elise Carnes. Laura Marie Camus, cum laude. Christopher William Capcara, cum laude. John Patrick Cawley, magna cum laude. Tia Lee Churchfield. Matthew M. Cianflone, cum laude. Joshua Anthony Saccone, cum laude. Catherine Rose Cirencion, cum laude. Danielle Elizabeth Collins. Sarah E. Connolly, cum laude. Krista M. Korabi. Nelinia Morena Cordero. Jenna Catherine Cowan, cum laude. Michael J. D'Amico, cum laude. Amanda Marie Daquilente. Brianna Darnell. Elizabeth Ann DeLosa. Joseph E. DeMarco, cum laude. Derek Dissinger, summa cum laude. Liu Duan, summa cum laude. Ryan John Duty, cum laude. Gina Valerie Ikas, magna cum laude. Christian Aloysius Ehalt, cum laude. James Matthew Elson, cum laude. Nicole Lynn Eastep, cum laude. Anne-Marie E. Everett. Janice L. Everly, cum laude. Eileen Marie Fairley. Alexander Bancroft Fant. Michael Christopher Fasanello. Kathy M. Firestein. Matthew James Fisher, cum laude. Keith Donovan Fisher, summa cum laude. Christina Danielle Fox, cum laude. Sally Ann Frick, magna cum laude. Joshua Bernard Fuchs, cum laude. Lindsay Jean Galvin, cum laude. Chad Paul Garber. Richard Garzoni. Brent Allen George. Jamie Lynn George, magna cum laude. Kelly Ann Giles, cum laude. Kelly Elizabeth Goodrich. Jasmine Dion Grant. Rositza Ratbanova Griffin. cum laude. Kara Jean Group. Patrick V. Hammonds. Joshua Cameron Hanold, cum laude. Megan Perkins Harris Pero, summa cum laude. J. Christian Hart. Mr. Hart is being hooded by Mr. Brennan Hart, 4-year Alumni Association member. Julianne Lynn Haynes, magna cum laude. Jeffrey John Heipel, cum laude. Stephanie Lynn Henry. Jacqueline Corey Herman. Lauren Rebecca Heinze, cum laude. Christina Elaine Horton, summa cum laude. Dennis J. Hope Jr., magna cum laude. Seth M. Hauser. Aaron Alexander Rock. Brian Michael John. Janelle S. Johnson. Tanisha N. Jones. Anthony James Judas. Regina Antoinette Kassinger. Cum laude. Sasha Ahmad Katuria. Julie Merrill Katz. Aaron M. Kime. Jason Jewel Kelly, summa cum laude. George Leon Kellogg III. Christopher Jude Kenny, cum laude. Raymond W. Kessler, cum laude. Michael C. Kilmer. Andrew Mark King, summa cum laude. David Paul Koba. Christy Anna Kobus, cum laude. Amanda Coker. Elizabeth Corrin. Malgorzata Maria Kostarek, summa cum laude. Mary F. Kazinko, magna cum laude. Melissa Beth Krasnow. Allison Nicole Kravansky. Caitlin Kruger, cum laude. Adam Timothy Kernicki. Armand John Leonelli, magna cum laude. Angela Christine Liberto. Brian M. Lucott, cum laude. Adam Kent Luntz, cum laude. Leanne Lyons. Ashley Marie Lipson, cum laude. Bobette Roper Magnuson. Robert James Mancuso II, magna cum laude. Patrick Coleman Manning, magna cum laude. Alexander Marino, magna cum laude. Emily J. Marsh, summa cum laude. Bradley Allen Mata. Shane Patrick McCullough, cum laude. Shalise M. McCurry. Kathleen Marie McMahon, cum laude. Lisa M. Meyer, summa cum laude. Carolyn M. McCula. Brendan J. Moran. Matthew John Morphy. Nicole D. Nino. William J. O'Brien, Jr. Daniel Charles O'Malley, cum laude. Rebecca Ann Olds. Crystal Ann Umps. Frank Natal Pagani. Jennifer R. Pedersen, magna cum laude. Nicole E. Petrovich. Max Peter Petrunia, cum laude. William Brandon Pittman, cum laude. Matthew J. Wozniak. Lisa Postlethwaite. Melissa Lee Presto. Jamur Razak. Matthew Scott Redinger. Grace Remington, cum laude. Ronald Nicholas Repack. Emily B. Ridge, cum laude. Cody A. Roberts. Nicole Marianne Rodriguez. Rachel Marie Roney. Kenneth L. Rose. Elena E. Redkowski, magna cum laude. Braulio Sebastian Sanchez. Aaron L. Santorella. Christopher T. Saceda, magna cum laude. Daniel Scott Schiffman. Heather Ann Schmidt, magna cum laude. Christelle Leora Sade, cum laude. Michael Sherman, cum laude. Stephen Anthony Shiner, cum laude. Brian William Sitchko. James Robert Silsley. Stephen J. Singhos. Aaron William Smith, cum laude. Joseph L. Smith, cum laude. Matthew Justin Smith, cum laude. Joseph W. Sora. Elizabeth L. Spatafor. Craig J. Sperlaza, cum laude. Mary Catherine Stacy. Nicole Lee Starr, summa cum laude. Benjamin Jacob Steinberg, cum laude. Joseph M. Stickler, magna cum laude. Megan Elizabeth Sullivan, magna cum laude. Patrick Sullivan, cum laude. Michael Anthony Sundo. Katie Ann Surma, cum laude. Suzanne M. Susany, OSF. Matthew Sean Sutphin, cum laude. Eve Michelle Tassios, cum laude. Vivian Brand Taylor. Beth Ellen Teacher, magna cum laude. Amy A. Thompson, cum laude. James Richard Thornburg, summa cum laude. Matthew C. Trinkle, cum laude. Sarah Nicole Trower. Jessica Ann Troy. Mark Anthony Tutelo, Jr. Michael Wenzel II. Matthew Brian Wachter. Brian William Walsh, summa cum laude. Michaeline Weimer, cum laude. Deborah Ann Wiesney. Rebecca Gratson Llanos, cum laude. Christine Malmgren Yater, cum laude. Michael P. Yurchak. Jason Matthew Zoller, cum laude. The degree of Master of Laws for Foreign Attorneys is conferred upon Anas Mansour Al-Mansour. Visiting student Robert Hartledge, St. Mary's School of Law, San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, you're going to have another opportunity in one moment because it's not quite official yet. As Dean of the Duquesne University School of Law, on behalf of the law school faculty, I present to Charles J. Dougherty, President of Duquesne University, these students who have completed their academic curricula and are entitled to recognition. President Dougherty, please confer on these graduates their degrees they have earned and offer them a few remarks.
Will the candidates please rise? By virtue of the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Board of Directors of Duquesne University, as President of the University, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Juris Doctor that you have earned with all the rights, honors, and privileges thereunto attached. Congratulations. Please be seated. On behalf of Duquesne University of the Holy Spirit, I congratulate you graduates of the class of 2010. I also offer the university's congratulations to the spouses, families, and friends who have supported you along the way and who helped to make this happy day possible. Since my wife is a retired judge and my daughter, son-in-law, and godson are all attorneys. I add to these official greetings my heartiest personal congratulations as well. I know what you have been through, and I have a sense for some of what lies before you. The law degree that you have earned has two values. One is intrinsic. You know this value. It is a product of your hard work over these last several years, the hours of reading and writing. It is the result of the dedication of our faculty to teaching and to the support of our professional librarians and clinicians. It has arisen from what you learned from one another in and out of the classroom. It is a result of your involvement in student organizations, law review, moot court, and internships. It is epitomized in the fact that you are now among very few Americans who actually know the meaning of the word tort when spelled without an E, the elements of a binding contract, what a subpoena actually is, and what the Supreme Court accomplishes with a writ of certiorari. This intrinsic value of your law degree is yours forever. It will serve you well. With it, you will serve your clients and your communities well as well. The other value of your law degree is social. It depends on the reputation of our school of law. The stronger the reputation of our school, the higher the social value of your Duquesne law degree. Over your many careers, these values will show itself in conversations about where you went to law school. It will be displayed in national and regional rankings. It will play a role in crucial moments when you apply for jobs and for advancements where you will work. It may be a factor if you seek appointment to public positions or run for office. It may be an issue if you relocate to another part of our country. Aside from how good you are in practice, it may affect how you are thought of by other attorneys with whom you interact. The social value of your law degree is what others, especially lawyers and law professors, think about your law school, and because of that, about your law degree. You have already done most of what you can do to enhance the intrinsic value of your law degree, and you have done a very good job of it. I am hesitant, of course, at this happy moment to mention the one last hurdle ahead of you this summer. The social value of your law degree, however, is a different matter. Duquesne has had numerous alumni whose legal careers have been so outstanding that they have improved the reputation of our school and thus the social value of your degree. Perhaps some of you will be among these outstanding alumni. I truly hope so, for you and for us. But the fact is that most graduates of any law school can do little to enhance the social value of their degrees, except for the very important everyday contributions they make in service to their clients and their communities. But your alma mater, which is now this law school and this university, can do a great deal to enhance the social value of your law degree. I want to tell you what I believe that we will do, Duquesne University and Duquesne University School of Law, working as partners to make your degree more socially valuable for you for the rest of your careers. And I tell you this purposefully on this occasion so that you can carry this important message to your friends in the law classes behind you and to the Duquesne Law alums you are about to join. First, the school and university will work together to increase scholarship at the law school. This is an important factor in all assessments of the social value of a law degree, particularly among law professors and leading members of the bar. The law school and the university know the commitments and the investments that it will take to increase scholarly productivity, and we are prepared to make them. Second, we will add more full-time faculty at the law school. Improvement in our ratio of faculty to students means more student choices, smaller classes, and greater faculty-student interaction. Third, we will build for our legal clinics the same kind of successful reputation we have already established for our nationally ranked legal research and writing program. Our downtown location gives us a strong advantage here. Fourth, we will increase diversity among our faculty, students, and staff. This is a core part of the university's mission and is occurring successfully across the university. The School of Law can and should be a leader here. Fifth, we will improve all of our student services. We intend to create a better overall organization of student support services, to computerize registration, to offer more placement help, and to provide improved alumni services. Sixth, as you well know, there have been several changes in the school's grading system. The university will work with the school to finalize these changes by implementing a new system of grading. It will be fair, it will be accurate, and it will not disadvantage our own students in job searches. Finally, the school, with university assistance, will develop a 5-year plan to chart a course for continued improvement. We ask that the structure of the plan mirror the university's own 5-year plan in its 3 core parts: a renewed commitment to mission and identity, to academic excellence, and to improvement of the student experience. These are all ambitious goals. They will take us some time to achieve. We will need the help and goodwill of our faculty, our staff, our alumni, and friends. But this is the way to a better future, a future made possible because of the new working relationship between the School of Law and the university. We pray that the Spirit who gives life will enliven this partnership and make this brighter future a reality for all of us. So congratulations to each of you graduates. Your hard work on the intrinsic value of your degree is almost over. But the hard work of your law school and your university to improve the social value of your degree is just now at a new beginning. Thank you.
Also with us today to offer a few remarks is Mr. Gino Peluso, immediate past president of the Duquesne Law Alumni Association. Mr. Peluso is a 1980 graduate of the law school, and he practices in Westmoreland County, where he concentrates primarily in the area of bankruptcy law.
Thank you so very much, Associate Dean Perkins. It is a great honor and privilege for me today to welcome you, the class of 2010, into this special club known as the Duquesne University Law Alumni Association. Welcome to all of you. As our graduation offerings to you from the Law Alumni Office and the Law Alumni Association, we have purchased Visa gift cards, Duquesne M&Ms, and paperweights. We look forward to seeing you at all of our upcoming events as we begin our Centennial Year celebration. Let me also take this opportunity to congratulate our newly installed Dean, Ken Gormley, and wish him the best of success. Congratulations, Dean Gormley. Please stay connected with us as you go out into the world as ambassadors of the Duquesne Law School and carry on with the time-honored traditions of the great Duquesne lawyers who have come before you. Our law school has produced more Superior Court, Commonwealth Court, and Court of Common Pleas judges than any other law school in Pennsylvania. And the list of Duquesne lawyers also includes the president of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Membership in the Law Alumni Association does have its privileges. You get to hang out with your former professors in a more casual manner, and at this point you don't even have to worry about grading. So it's very pleasurable to associate with your former colleagues, your former professors, just a wonderful thing. Some of you, like myself, are the first in your families to graduate from law school. Your special day also brings back memories for me. Although my parents, Frank and Ralphalina Peluso, are no longer with us, my godfather, Abraham Postorero, and his lovely wife, Silvana, are here today as they were years ago. Thank you so very much for attending once again today. Thank you. And graduates, as Dean Gormley suggested in his remarks, please be sure to thank your parents and loved ones for all that they have done for you. It has been my great honor to serve as Law Alumni Association president this past year. We are all extensions of our law school, and we represent this great university in all that we do by adhering to the motto, Solus Populi Suprema Lex. The welfare of the people is the highest law. Turn to your moral compass in times of indecision with the complete confidence that the ethical principles you have learned here will guide you to make the right choices. Remember, you are a student for a few years, but an alumni for life. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much, Gino. And rather than give you another speech, I'd like to call upon Chancellor John E. Murray, Jr., one of the leading legal scholars in the United States, to offer a few concluding remarks. Chancellor Murray.
Hello. You really clean up very nicely. I have a few caveats, which is another word that your family doesn't understand. You got to be careful with that stuff. I had a mother call me and said, something has happened to my daughter. What did you do with her in law school? I said, what's wrong? She said, well, every time I do something she doesn't like, she says, that's unconscionable. And then I said, are you going to go to our cousin's birthday party? And she said, I don't think I'm in privity with my cousin anymore. And then I didn't want to go to a store with her one day, and she said, I think it's your last clear chance. So be very careful about that, because people will think there's something very odd about you. When you have a dinner party at your wonderful new mansion, after you become a senior partner, make sure that you invite people other than lawyers to the dinner party. I mean, bring some human beings in as well. I just want to mention to you that I was taken by the remarks of our wonderful speaker today in terms of Coach Wooden's suggestions, and they are really part and parcel of something that we really all know. It's intrinsic. And it goes back to, in my understanding, the great philosophers. And my favorite philosopher is Thomas Aquinas. And Thomas Aquinas talked about the virtuous life. Now, as a lawyer, we have a code of professional responsibility, but that's a threshold. I mean, that is minimal. We're supposed to know about prudent actions, and we're supposed to know what justice is. After all, we went to law school. We know there are 305 definitions of justice, none of which are really complete. But we also understand the fundamental concept that everyone is entitled to his or her due, even though that's about the 2nd century AD in that definition. We understand prudent actions, and we understand justice, and we understand fortitude. We understand courage, not rashness. We understand tenacity, to stick with it. Somebody is going to be sitting across the table and saying, what do I do? I'm relying upon you to tell me what I do. That is your client. That is someone who is totally depending upon you. We have certified that you are capable of dealing with that very effectively. You don't just owe your client a duty. You owe your client a fiduciary responsibility. It's as if that client is a member of your family. That's the duty you owe. And we're confident that you will carry that out. There are also some other, even more important virtues. Please remember to continue to have faith in yourself, but particularly in your family. You see these people here today? They have been with you for a long time. No matter what happened, they would cheer you on. And they're here today to do that as well. They love you. They deserve your love. And listen to your mother in particular. Don't forget to do that. I mean, you're really smart, but it's better to listen to your mother. She can be unreasonable at times, but listen to her anyway. And finally, don't forget, in addition to faith in yourself and in your family and faith in your God, never despair. Goodness gracious, never give up hope. And don't forget the ultimate effort, the ultimate virtue. Sometimes it's called charity, but we know it's really love. If you go through life exuding love and working as hard as you can work and being as diligent as you can be, and if you're filled with integrity, you will be a great lawyer. It's a joyous occasion. Congratulations, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Chancellor Murray. This has been a wonderful day, and we hope that you will continue to join us for festivities, for a reception at the Student Union Ballroom immediately following the ceremony. And Frank Coonley will be able to join us, meet your families before he has to go to today's game. But I also wanted to let the graduates know that Mr. Coonley has graciously provided a gift for them. There are 200 official caps that look just like this waiting for you in the robing rooms. Even if you're from Philadelphia or Chicago, you're allowed to have one. Please don't sell it on eBay, though. And to return the kindness, I wanted to give Frank Coonley a little gift that he can wear at PNC Park for the rest of the season for good luck. It is an official Duquesne Law baseball cap, one of the hottest items in sports memorabilia today, and it is certain to get him his 10 wins in a row. And with that, I would like to turn over the program to Associate Dean Perkins to wrap up the festivities.
Since September 11th, 2001, it has become the tradition of the law school to conclude our commencement ceremony with the singing of God Bless America. So please stand and join us. To close these ceremonies, I ask the Reverend Raymond French to offer the benediction.
Let us pray. God, our loving Father, it is with grateful hearts that we begin the journey of letting go of what we have known and moving forward with confidence to a new place and a new time. We give thanks for those who have shown us that we can be in the law with soul. For along our journey, we will struggle to know that sense of integrity, longing to be faithful to our deepest self. And during these times, seek the voice of the Spirit that speaks with inner authority. And so this is my prayer for you. Whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is gracious, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think on these things. For what you have learned and received and heard and seen, this you must do. And the God of peace will always, always be with you. Amen.
This concludes our commencement ceremony. I would ask everyone to please remain in place while the faculty and the graduates leave the auditorium. And again, everyone is cordially invited to the reception in the ballroom of the Duquesne Student Union on the 4th floor. We hope to see you there.